Hello and welcome. This is a demonstration on the effects of blast radius from high explosive munitions. I've gone a little bit overboard here, but that's okay. Let me show you what I've set up. I'm at the flats, the desert on Altus, and I'm in a bunker, as you can see. Safety first. And I have set up. I'm gonna go into Zeus mode here, so I can show you what I have done. I've set up basically a testing ground. The center of the testing ground is right about where my mouse cursor is, and with all with the exception of the human targets, everything is on 25-meter rings from the center. So you can see I have the first ring at 25 meters. I have a jet. That's a black, whatever, it's the NATO jet. A transport truck. I think that's a Hunter. That's the Panther, the Rhino, the main battle tank, and the APC, the wheeled APC, NATO. Okay, and I'm sure the name will come back to me, but it escapes me right now. So my plan is to drop munitions going from the smallest to the largest, starting in the center of this circle, and see what the effects of the blast are. There may be this might surprise you a little bit. So we're going to start with the smallest munition, which is the I think it's an 82 millimeter mortar round. So let's not waste any more time. And so we're going to drop one right in the center, and that's very easy to do in the Zeus mode, which is why I'm using this. So I'm going to go straight into a look down mode here, and get right over the center here. And I hate to give away some of my secrets of Zeus, but so be it. Alright, well, we'll zoom in a little bit. We don't need to be this far out. We'll come down a little bit closer. Alright, so the first munition we're going to drop is an 82 millimeter mortar round right here. So that's it's pretty close to the middle, right about there. And we're going to see what happens. Now, what's impressive is the effect this will have on the human subjects. They're all standing. By the way, they are VR. They're not real. So I can safely say that no humans were killed in this test, or horses, or anything else. So here we go. Here's a mortar round. Now, when I press this, you're going to see a circle, which is supposed to show you the danger area. You know, anywhere inside the circle, you're liable to be killed from the blast. That's for a foot soldier. But anyway, here we go. Alright. So according to this, the mortar round is only going to kill the first two humans. Boom. Look at that. It killed the first three. So it killed the human at 10 meters. By the way, that human is the only thing on the 10-meter ring. I tried to put vehicles in, but they were all bumping into each other. They were so close. It killed the human at 25 meters, and it killed the human at 50 meters, which corresponds to what I learned earlier today in some other tests, firing an actual Mark 6 mortar. So if you're standing at 50 meters from a mortar round, you're going to be killed, most likely. If you're prone at 50 meters, you won't be. I also learned that. But anyway, that's good information to have. That means if you have troops on the ground and they're not farther than 50 meters away, and I would recommend 75 meters at a minimum from your own mortar strike, you could kill some of your men by friendly fire. Okay, so let's go see if we caused any other damage with that mortar round. So I'm going to leave the safety of my bunker here. No, that's not the way out, is it? There we go. Where are they? There they are. So let's go see what we've done here. I'm not responsible for blowing up any rabbits. I have no control over them. So here's the VR human at 100 meters. The VR human at 75 meters. And the other three from 50 meters on in are expired. I'm not even going to bother getting in the armor. I might get in the we'll try the hunter, but when I did this before, the truck, none of that stuff was damaged. Let's try the truck just to see. Nope, undamaged. Let's go check out the hunter, which is a pretty tough hombre, the hunter. I wouldn't mind having one. It'd be great for camping. Minus the machine gun, no. Nope, no damage. Okay, so let's get back to ground zero. I want to go check out the jet. When I did this on the dry run, on the practice run, the jet did suffer some damage. Let's see if it did this time as well. You'll notice right away you can see some damage to the windscreen and pitting on the outside of the jet. And we're going to get in now and see. Last time the instruments were partially damaged. Yep, same thing. That's probably the pod underneath that was damaged. Not totally, but somewhat. Okay, so that's pretty much concludes the mortar round, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to reset everything. We're going to restart the mission so that everything's brand spanking new again. And I'm back in the bunker. And I'm going to go back to Zeus mode. Let's see if we can get a more exciting viewpoint here on this one. Maybe not so far away. Okay, so I'd say that's about it right there, right? So this time we're going to drop a 150 millimeter howitzer. Now you would think that that would do less damage than a 230 millimeter rocket, but that depends on a lot of things. Like, you know, we're just talking diameter. It depends on the. We're talking, if we're talking diameter or length here. Anyway, so let's try it out. 150 millimeter howitzer round, ground zero. Here we go. Now, you'll notice the size of the blast ring on this thing for people. Boosh. Okay, that did some damage. Let's go check it out. So the howitzer would be typical of what you would shoot from one of the artillery guns, the main artillery guns, and they are pretty devastating. So let's start with our humans. We're going to start at ground zero. Let's follow them out. Well, let's take a look at a couple other things first. But I think it doesn't look so good for the humans here. The last man standing at 100 yards. Correction, 100 meters rather, VR soldier. So all the way out through 75 meters are dead. That's pretty impressive. That's quite a shockwave. I can see this hunter here has already had its wheels destroyed. This truck is destroyed. That aircraft is destroyed. So let's go check everything else out here. Let's go check our tank out. It looks like, oh man, it got a little charred, didn't it? No damage to the inside, and I'm not surprised. I have literally dropped howitzer rounds on top of a main battle tank over and over and over and over again, and they'll scar up the outside, but they will do no damage to the inside at all. All right, so let's get out of here. So that was the main battle tank. Let's check our APC here with the wheels blown off. Let's see if any other damage. Whoa! The wheels and the engine and the gun and the fuel line were all damaged, and the wheels were completely destroyed. By the way, if you have a repair specialist or an engineer with you, you could restore this vehicle to 50% operability and get home. Just so you know. Okay, we're not even going to check the jet. Alright, so we're still in the first ring here. Let's check the Rhino. This is at 25 meters. Let's get inside. The wheels are shot. That was it. They only damaged. So that's not too bad. At least you're alive and well. Those are all my rhinos. Let's check the Panther. Panthers are pretty tough. I think they're tougher than a rhino. So I would be surprised if there was any damage here. The engine. Oh, okay. Looks like we're not going anywhere. Nope. So that's impressive. You know, at 25 meters, this is some pretty heavy equipment. And that howitzer round really did a number on him. Let's go check the Marshall. I don't think I looked at that yet. The wheels are gone for sure. I don't think I've been inside. Yeah, maybe I did. Gun, fuel, engine. Pretty tore up. Okay, well, let's go out to the second ring here. I'm not going to look at the tanks. I don't think the Marshall at 50 meters is going to be touched. Let's look at the aircraft at 50 meters. It's got some pitting on the outside. Wow. Look at that. 50 meters. Look at all that damage. Upper left I'm looking. The instruments are destroyed. The hull, the engine, and the fuel are all partially damaged. That's pretty impressive. Of course, an aircraft is not an armored vehicle, so I guess it's not too surprising. I would say that airplane is basically out of commission. It certainly, I wouldn't want to fly it until it was repaired. Okay, let's go look at the Marshal at 50 meters. Nope, good to go. Nothing wrong. That doesn't surprise me too much. So anyway, we're not going to look at all of these. We don't have time. You guys don't want to be here all night looking at. So the Hunter at 25, the truck at 25 meters was completely destroyed. The Hunter is pretty torn up. The wheels are gone. Let's see what else is happening here. Yeah, quite a bit of damage. So, alright, well you get the idea. Now let's look at our poor human subjects. All the way out to 75 yards, all dead. Last man standing at 100 yards. Okay, let's do a reset and we'll try something else. We're going to restart. Okay, this time we're going to try a we're going to try a 230 millimeter rocket. Alright, so now look at the blast radius for humans. Goes all the way out to 100. Oh! See, now this is a funny thing because when I use that, once in a while I get the rocket, but most of the time I get the cluster bomb, which is what we got this time. And needless to say, the cluster bomb is devastating, especially for humans and lightly armored. But look at that. Oh, he's dead. Wow. Okay, so we blew up two vehicles. I can see right here the wheels are blowing off the Marshal. It's probably got other damage, but certainly that. I don't know if it, cluster munitions are lots of small bombs. How are we doing here? It looks like flat. There are a couple flat tires maybe on the Hunter. Most of the rest of the stuff seems to be pretty well intact. I don't see any significant damage to the outside of this jet. So, but of course what cluster munitions are really devastating for is infantry. And it did a pretty good job of immobilizing any wheeled vehicle within 25 yards. Let's go see this guy. And let's go. I'm going to go see that Hunter. Let's speed things up a little bit here. I know you guys are busy and you all have important things to do. So, whoa! I could have got killed there. This Hunter's pretty chewed up. Yep, the wheels. So other than that, it's good. So that's about what I would expect from a cluster munition. Man, I really did a number on that truck and the aircraft. So the truck's not armored really. It's heavy duty, but it's not an armored vehicle. Okay. we have one more thing to do here before we're finished up, and that is the. We'll go back to. We're gonna reset here. Do another restart. The only thing we have left to try is the 500-pound bomb. And for that we have to do an airstrike. So I think I'll pick a Zephyr, a CSAT aircraft. It will just seem more appropriate since it's all Blue Force. By the way, these results are going to be pretty similar for if these were OP4 aircraft and vehicles, they'd be pretty similar. Okay, so here we go. Close air support bomb strike. That's generally a 500-pound bomb. And I was very surprised by this because I expected it to do a lot more damage than it did. Okay.
Copy that. Strike aircraft on the way. Out.
Here comes our buzzard. Notice it has a much smaller blast radius than some of the other things. That's interesting. Alright, it only killed the first two guys, but it did do some pretty impressive damage close in. So the truck and the airplane again are gone. Looks like the Hunter's wheels were messed up again. Marshall's rear wheels. That's amazing. You would think a 500-pound bomb would do a lot more damage than that. I would expect it to be a much broader, unless that's only a 250-pound, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's a LGB, laser guided LGB 12 laser guided bomb. So there you have it. I think the 155 millimeter howitzer is the most impressive round here. So let's find out. Let's see what it can do.
Take cover. Artillery inbound.
We'll try a few more. Those things really shake the ground. So there you have it. Look at that. All these rhinos are just a mess. So if you don't think the howitzer is an impressive weapon, let's go very quickly and check. So this rhino is 100 yards, well, I don't know. It was not 100 yards from the closest blast. Not by a long shot. It was not very far away at all. Let's get inside and see what the damage is. Wheels, that's it. Well, that's impressive. Okay. Wheels are not a problem, really. You're immobilized, but take a look at this one. fuel and wheels. Okay. Of course, range doesn't matter anymore because we were dropping them all over. Let's go look at one of these Panthers. This Panther looks like it was pretty close to one of these rounds. Panthers are pretty tough. I think it's about the toughest APC, short of a main battle tank. That's what you want to be in. It's pretty messed up, but you're still alive. Actually, it looks like the Rhino did better than the Panther. Okay, so if you're in a hunter and you think you don't have to worry about a 155 millimeter howitzer round, you're wrong. Ditto for the truck. Ditto for the jets. Ditto if you're standing up. Let's go check this guy. I must have. Let's see where we got one close to a Marshall. This one wasn't too close. Look at these guys. I think this was. Let's go see this guy. Yeah, look at that. However, you're still alive. Didn't breach the armor, just messed things up. So, alright, well that concludes our video. I think we've pretty well demonstrated that the 155 millimeter howitzer, at least when it comes to high explosive ammunition, is the baddest mother on the block. I would have to say, pound for pound, I'm really impressed with the Mark 6 mortar rounds. I mean, those things have a blast radius. When you consider how small those rounds are, the amount of damage now, this is Arma 3. I'm assuming that's a realistic blast radius. Maybe not. I mean, it's killing a guy 50 yards away just from the shock wave. So I don't know how realistic that is for a mortar round. But in the world of Arma 3, considering the size and weight, the fact that you can carry a Mark 6 mortar in 2 backpacks, set it up anywhere, and it will shoot anything between, about 30 meters and 4 kilometers. That's a lot of bang for your buck. And I would have to say our next big winner is the 155 millimeter howitzer. The 200 the rockets are actually very effective in the game, but for some reason the Zeus keeps dropping. Most of the time drops the the other munitions, the the cluster bomb, which is a great round too if you're blowing up infantry, but it's not as effective. But those how big are those rockets? The 230 millimeter rockets, I know from experience, are pretty devastating too. They tend to land in a group very close together and tear things up pretty good. Okay, well, hope you learned something. I know I learned something doing this, and have a great week. Bye-bye.